Hey Dad, hey Greg, hey y'all. Well, welcome back to Wrench It, Wheel It. I got a little early start today. I went ahead and started drilling holes for the spot welds or the plug welds, whatever you want to call them. Then I'm going to put this thing back in. I'm going to try and get it in there and get it test fit, but I spared y'all the excitement of watching me drill holes. So went ahead and did that off camera. But I'm going to try and get this thing fit back in there, mark all the places where I need to pull off the, or take off the POR 15 or any paint that I put in there, and try and get this thing, hopefully get started tack welding it in. You'll have to forgive all the noise outside. It's the 4-day weekend or 4-day holiday known as Independence Day. Everybody starts shooting off their fireworks just as soon as the sun goes down. So hopefully everybody's enjoying it and having a good time. But I'm going to try and get this thing test fit in there, get everything marked, get all the paint taken off, and then hopefully I can get this thing tacked in there and get started putting it in. And then maybe I can get the door in there. If I get it in there and get it started right now to where I can test fit that door, I'll be happy with that. We'll just see how far I get. I don't think I'll get to the door in this video, but at least I can hopefully get this thing, get it in there and start getting it welded in. Not permanent, just get a few tacks in there good enough to hold it, and then be able to test fit that door to make sure that all my gaps are going to be okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Appreciate everybody coming back, and let's see what we can get done. Alright, so this is what I did. Once I got it fit back in there, I just went around with a white paint marker and marked the spots where I already have holes, and that's what I'll end up taking the paint off of. So, got those pieces there. I'm probably going to put another hole right in this area somewhere. So, I'll mark that and just try and scrape the paint off there once I get to there. But I've got another one marked out. But I've got all of these marked out in here. All along the firewall and everywhere. So I thought about trying to add a piece of metal. Right there it is. Thought about adding a piece of metal right down through here, but I think I might end up just welding that to the door frame. Not worrying about it because it all gets covered up with a piece of weather stripping anyway. Then I went ahead and marked all of these on the rocker panel itself, and all these holes here I marked. So should be able to get all that pulled out, pull that paint off there, and get it ready to put back in tack weld. Okay, so I'm gonna call this final fit. And I think it looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty close to where the original one sat, or what I remember of the original one sitting. So I like everything. I don't like this area right here, but I think I'll just weld this edge right here. Not all the way down. I'll stitch weld it a little bit. Put a few little welds, stitch it here, then stitch it here, then stitch it here. But I think everything's fitting pretty well. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is sleeping on it, because it's after midnight. I put this thing in about 3 more times than I had thought I was going to. Took it out, put it back in, forgot that I didn't mark a few hidden spot welds behind where the toe board or the side kickboard or whatever you want to call it goes. So I had to put it back in, mark those, take it back out, and grind the paint off of the rocker panel for that. And then I couldn't get it to go back where I wanted it to go, so I had to pull it out again and bend some stuff and hammer some stuff and massage a little bit to try and get this thing closer to where I wanted it, and finally got it to go in. But it's like wrestling whenever you're putting this thing in, because it is so much heavier than, you know, like a coupe rocker panel. So I'm spent. I'm gonna go in and sleep on it and come back out here and look at it again tomorrow and just see if I still like where it is. So tomorrow. Okay, so new plan. After sleeping on it, I decided what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild or finish rebuilding the hinges. I'm gonna take this down and I'm gonna take this off, because I think I've got it supported well enough to where I can pull these out. I'll make marks to make sure that I know exactly where everything is, and that way I can test fit this door, check my my gaps to make sure everything's gonna look okay, and hopefully we'll be good. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. here's the fit up. I think it looks pretty good. I got this right here pretty close. The door gap, I think it's pretty close all the way down. It's even. Right here where it comes down, that flows pretty well. Now this gap, it's pretty decent right here at the bottom, but it gets a little wider here at the top. But I think I can do something with that. But I think it's in pretty good shape. I know I didn't have to rebuild that hinge to get it on there, and I didn't put all the springs and everything back in it, but I did want to go ahead and try and get this done so that I don't lose the part, because I kept trying to figure out where it was, and then I'd find it and put it where I'd definitely remember where it was, and then I wouldn't remember where it was. So went ahead and got that done, but looks pretty good now. And then I did go ahead and tack that in right there just to hold it, because that piece wanted to pop out that way. So once I got that tacked together, it felt like, or it looks like it fell right into place, so it's in pretty good shape. So I think we're in pretty good shape, and maybe tomorrow I'll get out here and start putting some plug welds in this thing. Well guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Feel pretty good about the progress. Getting that door back on there, getting everything adjusted pretty close to where I think it's going to be. Then I can go ahead and get started welding this thing back in. That was making me a little nervous, and I'm really glad that I went ahead and put that door back on and started looking at that, because there was a little bit of adjustment that I needed to do, and I'm glad I got that done before I really started putting any hard welds on it. So everything looks pretty good. You know, I may have to adjust that top hinge just a little bit, but when I get to that, I think I'll be able to make it work. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody watching. Y'all have a good Independence Day. Have a good week, and God bless. See you next week.